300 damage, he's fine.
The Expendables
They're on fire.
are just playing with a level of confidence right now that is just, it's just fun to watch.
Yep, no,
really.
they're definitely good.
As they will get everybody over to the south side of this zone. They're going to get a little bit close to 4 a.m. But 4 a.m. they've got multiple problems to worry about because they got Twisted Minds just on their north side as well. And meanwhile, this fight in the city is going to have to come to a head. It's Petrichor Road. They've got Kwandong Freaks pushing on them from the north.
Yep, Chui fallen, isolated in the top floor of that container building. We'll get him down. Cumin will place Nate there. As now, I mean, this should be, yep, I was going to say Salute trying to flank out towards the eastern side. He wants to get that same off angle that Bean couldn't get earlier.
Yeah, and you got Falcons that are still a four-man squad that are still inside this city as well. They've trying to find the angles onto this, but it doesn't look like anything is presenting itself just yet. Oh, well, never mind. Roth will find Clories, and that's going to be actually from long range.
Yep. It's out of the city.
Yeah, Salute. Oh, he's going to spot Summer, but...
I think that's the thing for Falcons right now. Because they're technically already inside the circle, they're not really in a hurry to go out and make a decisive four-man push fight. Right now, they can kind of just wait this one out. They're not really at risk themselves. If we get some points off of Freaks and Petrichor, if that fight pops off, we can go there. Right now, let Flood, let Roth take the shots down towards Expendables on the south side and see what options present themselves later down the line.
Absolutely. And it wouldn't be a fun game if it wasn't our top four teams, really. Once again, showing up in the top six. And Twisted Minds at 4 a.m. could definitely use some points going over in their favor. Twisted still has 4 up, and they are not involved at all in any of these city shenanigans. Summer just going to survive through the smoke for as long as he can, try to get across the street, and he will be able to do so. But the Kwandong Freaks have secured a foothold in the north part of this circle.
Houdini makes his escape.
Yeah.
Freaks come up and go, where did he go? He was here just before. We lost him. But he's safe on the other side. Salute, though, for now, won't be that safe in this position, though, as Petulins finds a couple of shots in towards him, which should be able to play on that north side still. Though this next circle, coming in 22 seconds, is, I think, going to dictate, if not guaranteedly the winner of this game, then at least who should come out victorious if everything played the way that we expect it to.
Jeez.
Any hard shift here as HSMM dodges that emergency cover. Any hard shift here could be game winning.
Scare. Ixlef will get the knock of the Human back in the city as Twisted Mind's starting to get a little bit more itchy trigger fingers, and now that's definitely going to be the bell ringing as the circle has pulled away. So Twisted will put their full attention towards cleaning out 4 a.m. Meanwhile, the Expendables still looking at it, and look at Roth has started to creep away from the city as well. Bobo will find Example, and Example will find Xiaopian. The trades are starting to come through.
Roth does like doing these flank plays, see if he can get something with an off angle, and the issue for him is this fight might be done by the time he gets here. Petulins falls. Bobo, nice angle, able to get the flush on him as well. It's now Perfectix and Lou trying to fend off here with so many smokes. They're completely isolated. I say that, but Perfectix able to get up on the rock, able to fight more, but now shut down by Expendables.
And of course, it wouldn't be just a straight up fair 4v4 fight between these two. The Expendables had to get all of it. They wanted a piece too. And now Falcons have left the compound. They're starting to come around on the side to see if they can get involved. Snakers keeping eyes on Petrichor Road and KDF. They know exactly where those guys are, so they can keep eyes on that pretty safely while Rello and Roth go on a hunting expedition.
When you already have level 3 gear, share it with somebody else, my friend. Running straight for the cover on the opposite side is now Petrichor and Kwandong Freaks. A fight they don't necessarily have to take right now, given that they're all still inside the circle. But for Falcons, I mean, they're with Petrichor being kind of pinned down and Expendables and Twisted Minds fighting, they're in a great position to claim real estate here as the nade comes over. Salute finds one with the nade, the second one of an opposing team with the QBC.
Oh man, Twisted Minds had to leave behind their fallen man Perfectix, and they try to send it right at the same exact moment as KDF was leaving their spot, and they will go down as Twisted Minds gets finished off, and we have made it to our top 4. Petrichor Road down to just one player left. It's Ike's left. He's looking over in that direction, trying to see if he can secure some more off of the KDF boys. He's gonna find Human, but Salute will get a grenade onto Summer.
Heaven knows exactly where he is as well. It's gonna up to fall back, go for the rest. Instead, smart play here. You still have an angle. You still have Summer there trying to hold off 700 damage on Salute.
700.
Phenomenal play. Does it see him on the edge of the smoke? Nope, not quite. The X-ray leads us to believe that maybe he would have, but the smokes bloom a bit differently.
And don't forget about those crazy kids on the Expendables. 10 kills in the bag for them so far. They still got 3 left alive. They're playing from the fields. As Falcons start to come alive, they're pushing up on this northern side to see if they can get a few more points here. But they would love to be able to secure the victory just to ensure their as many points as they can get. I mean, because again, reminder, all the points from this day matter so much. These are the ones that are going to get you into the grand final.
Yep, these are the ones that you ride, that you bank after the end of this day. Well, that's what today's performance is. The rich only get richer. Snakers is able to find heaven. Knock comes through, no flush just yet, but I'm not sure Freaks can really try and cross over, get this res. I say that, but Cuban is actually here, potentially able to get the res on.
Yeah, Snakers was watching that angle, but wasn't able to get the flush out as Ike's left. You can see those eyes just looking in every direction, listening for any footstep that might reveal itself. But Snakers are going to get spotted out by Salute, and that is not likely to get res. So Falcons now down to 3.
Dangerous one. Snakers trying to get an angle, but he's outside circle. Had he at least been inside, he could crawl to safety. Don't think any of the Falcons players at this point are going to try and commit to a res here.
He's crawling for it.
Bit of a mistake
nice
made as
grenade.
Human lops a nade on over, finds Ike Slip with util on hand. Nothing to do about that one, and Freaks are up to 7.
I mean, Snakers is resable here, but Falcons, the problem is that you don't know where KDF is. You don't know what the Expendables are trying to do. You just don't have a line of sight on it. So the Expendables, they can afford all day to sit here and wait for whatever comes out of that city, whatever comes through this Falcons versus Kwangdong Freaks fight.
Yep, I cannot come up with a scenario where Snakers gets back alive in this game. It's, as much as it would be nice for Falcons to be all 4 up, it's going to be hard, if not near impossible. There you go, Heaven spots him on transition. Roth opts to lup the Panzerfaust out, see if he can get someone on an initial peek. Delwyn, Tanwu, the ones holding up here with Duckjuice now flanking towards the north, but you'd have to imagine Salute is going to hear these footsteps sooner rather than later. Yeah,
I mean, Duckjuice, I think, reads this correctly. I mean, this is the best path for the Freaks to make their way in as we wait for that next zone to start collapsing here. But Duckjuice, I don't know if he definitely doesn't know Salute's here, but he should be anticipating this because that ridge line is just so nice to work with. Yeah, he's going to open up the fire. Yeah, that's nicely done by Guman. He baits Duckjuice into taking those shots and opens him up to Salute, and now he'll turn his attention towards the rest of them.
And that's exactly it, right? Because now they have an angle looking the other way. Tanwu has to get the grenade, smoke grenade launch out, but they're now within nade range too. They're getting pinned down from both sides. Falcons and Freaks kind of setting up a truce here, opting to deal with Expendables first, but for now, they're able to weather the storm. They're able to stay alive. The thing for Expendables is the circle is coming to them. It's coming out of the city proper. They are currently under 5 from all angles.
Ooh, Guman's gonna find Roth, gets the knock, gets Flood as well, and now it's down to just Rello. As Rello has managed to make his way out, he'll take the shots over towards Delwyn as the Expendables down to just 1, but KDF are coming alive here. They've got 3 up. They've got Delwyn pinned up against the blue, and they will get the victory. Kwangdong Freaks once again back in the win column.
And welcome back on top, Salute. I believe he crested into 1,200 damage and 8 kills in that match. Phenomenal performance from Kwangdong Freaks to close out that game.
What a finish there. It's been a while, Toby. It feels like since we've seen a game go all the way to 9. But this time it finally did, and we had a very tough sledding 3v3 there as Falcons did everything they could, but they were just pinned up against the wall, the blue zone, essentially, as KDF and TE had perfect angles on.
And keep in mind, Freaks, they came in almost dead last from that northern side. They got slowed down by the EMP. They lose Bean as well. Tricky game for them to go through, but in the end, they come out victorious on Rondo.
Freaks win at PGC 2024? Never.
What? You
That's
lie.
crazy. But we have got ourselves a strong three-way towards the very end here. And it could have been mutual destruction for Guangdong Freaks and Falcons down towards the bottom, but they bided their time. They were able to find those off angles and shut down all threats remaining here, Toffees.
Guangdong Freaks have been absolutely amazing. I mean, you saw them absolutely delete Twisted Minds in that game to start out sort of their push towards the middle. And this is, you know, to be completely fair, coming into this event, I did not expect them to be in a position to possibly win this. I literally have in my notes written chronically mid-tier. But that is done now. They are playing, I mean, it's true. Like, if you look at their finishes at the last couple of events, they're always, you know, they're relatively in the top 10. They're putting up good performances, but nothing this dominating. Like, and that's how they've been playing. They're bold, they're aggressive, and they win fights sometimes that I think they have no right to win. They're just doing it on pure skill, and the fact that the entire team is now contributing. You saw the most perfectly cooked grenade I think I've ever seen from Human there to eliminate Petrichor. I mean, they just have the full package.
Proper chaos throughout this game, though, as well, as we had some important things to really talk about, right? I mean, obviously, we want to talk about the winning team and how they kind of win things out, but from the word go, we already had a bit of chaos. 17 Gaming dropping on T1 to try and dislodge them, try and slow them down. They took one scalp, but T1 managed to escape from it. It seemed like 17 maybe was holding on roads to see if they were going to move past them.
Weirdly
it didn't happen,
vindictive, because it is. They took a scalp, and then they waited them out till the blue actually closed on 17, forcing T1 to go all the way south to try to get around them. And that opened a lot of chaos. And then the circle shifts. I mean, you heard how excited Toby got on the fourth shift. Down to, I think, 30 people alive at that point. It was a wild game.
Yes, it was, as we take a look at the death throws of it as well. And here is where I thought maybe some of these battles between Guangdong Freaks and Falcons would ensue, really kind of causing a lot of kind of Pyrrhic damage on either side from this battle. Maybe opening up the opportunity for the Expendables to win things out from this high ground. But the off angles that Guangdong Freaks eventually took were good. And then Salute, as previously mentioned, was popping off like a huge amount of damage. 8 kills going his way as well. He's making a very strong case for the best in South Korea.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If MVP rolls into circuit finals, then he's definitely already at the top of that conversation. It's undeniable. Now, that end game was fascinating because there was that moment I thought Expendables was going to get this. They had that high ground, and in a weird play, KDF and Falcons almost came to an agreement, not even like that you could have. They just said, you know what, those guys are a real pain in our butts. We got to turn, take them out, and then we can come back to fight each other. And that's what they did. KDF went out, got 2, and then rolled back to deal with the Falcons.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. At least keep them pressured, right? Like, because if you give them too much room, then maybe they decide to cordon off some more of that high ground, and then it's a bit difficult for you to deal with. But no, some very, very strong moves coming out from the Guangdong Freaks as they will take 13 kills up at the top. The Expendables again, though, 11 go their way. And it's very clear that Falcons has really, once again, found their stride. It's not a huge game in terms of the kills, but they're constantly now finding themselves into these late games.
Falcons has been impressing me a lot, but honestly, I just want to keep talking about the Expendables. It wouldn't be a PGC if an APAC team didn't surge out of nowhere and surprise all of us.
Is that Cerberus? No, it's not Cerberus. Oh, never mind.
Is that Cerberus? No, is that a day? You know, it's like, it's incredible what they are able to consistently do. And they just started strong. I mean, they literally got that momentum under them, and because they played every single game, they haven't been stoppable. Now, the question is, they're doing so well here, then they probably won't be playing the first days of next week's circuit. So I wonder if they'll be able to keep that momentum going. Yeah,
that's a good point. It is a good point, because we did mention at the top of the show, I mean, Poro, many were talking in the bus, right? Like the fact that the Expendables and Falcons that have played every single day. And then all of a sudden, hey, we're in this day number 6 here. Hey, and the Expendables and Falcons are getting to some of these late games.
Weird.
What a strange phenomenon. But not a strange phenomenon is Salute doing almost 1.2k damage with the 8 kills going his way. I wonder who's going to be the man of the match.
Who could be the man here? You know, sometimes we give a man of the match away and we're like, oh, well, you know, it's because you're from the winning team. This is unequivocally.
Yeah, like when End in the previous game got himself to 7 kills.
Unequivocally, he deserves man of the match right here. I can imagine if it wasn't him, I would have rioted. Salute walks away with, I mean, he broke the 1,000 damage mark, 8 kills. That means that they were just bristling, fighting. And again, that kind of comes from this idea of I don't really have anything to lose right now. Like, I can go out here and take these risks. I can go and pick these fights. I can do some splits if I want to, because our team has just been so dominant lately.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anybody in the tournament right now that's walked the walk and talked the talk, it's been Salute, right?
Yep.
The one lone remaining defending champion here coming into this PGC for 2024.
Yep.
And we've interviewed him, and he seems pretty relaxed about the whole proceedings, as they will take themselves 23 points for this game. 17 go the way of Expendables. Just the 8 for Falcons, but it is definitely enough. And Virtus Pro, a 7-kill game. We haven't really spoken about them just yet, but this is a big game for them.
Yeah, I mean, the last match, they got a couple of points there as well, so they have been sort of grinding up this 4 or 5 points, managing to get themselves a little bit higher up, so 17 total is going to be what Virtus Pro walks away with, which is good news considering how last week went for them. They weren't in that grand final, so this sets them up to potentially look towards the Circuit 3 without as much stress as they would have had otherwise. Some of the teams that are really shocking, well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised 4AM's only got 9 because they have been hunted a little mercilessly. Eternal Fire in 17, though, really not what I expected.
Considering the tactic that T1 have come in with,
Yes.
2 placement points.
That's good.
But 20 kills.
See, what's happening is they're chasing 4 Angry Men, and so 4AM's drawing out all the spots of everyone shooting at them, and T1's going, okay, well, we'll stop and kill these guys, then we'll stop and go kill these guys, and then back on the hunt yet again. But no, I am blown away that T1, with only 2 placement points, has been able to just go out there and search for these fights. I mean, that game that EN got, I think it was, what was it, ended up 8 kills or something like that. They didn't have loot in that game. They were chasing 4AM so long that he had to kill someone to get guns to go do what he did. So T1's actually been fascinating. And if they can do this while chasing 4AM, I would be terrified if I was the rest of the lobby for when they settle in and say, okay, we're focused on the win now.
Yeah, we have comfort. We have a comfort barrier around us in the early game. We're not really having to take these fights. We're not losing one person like they did at the beginning of this game. Admittedly, to a completely different Chinese team here, but you lose one and it does wound you into later stages. But they then still roll onto other positions and still were able to take a few kills here and there. So, yeah, this T1's looking pretty scary.
They are scary. And it's obvious that they don't have to have their drop. Some teams can't survive if you take them off their drop. T1 seems to be able to play anywhere adaptably.
All right, well, it's time for a break. When we return, we've got the Dusty Dunes on the way. 2 more games. The penultimate match is on the way here for a PGC 2024 Circuit 2 Day 3.
It is my pleasure to introduce you to Cruising Chaos. We've set the stage, and Sandhawk stands ready. And now, it must be knocked down. The covert deliveries of heavy weaponry are not just for flash and flare. They are your new tools of survival. Each one finely tuned for maximum destruction. Likely more than you expect. This battleground, once familiar, will evolve into a more ruthless, more cunning, and, dare I say, more destructive arena. Let us begin. Now, we watch to see who will stand atop the rubble.
Welcome back, everybody, to the grand final of Circuit 2. We've got 4 games in the books, 2 left on the docket, and we've got a mad dash for as many points as you can possibly get in these final 2 games, Toby.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get rowdy, I think, going over towards Miramar. I think normally we'd keep the chaos to Tego and Rondo, but starting off with a wrangle today was wild. This last Rondo game had, I believe, 8 teams involved in fights within the first 3 minutes of the game, and I cannot honestly imagine Miramar ending up being any different. Hot drops, likely, early game fighting, practically guaranteed at this point.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's basically a guarantee, as our teams in the top 4 really are kind of pulling away from the rest of the pack, and they're not leaving much for everybody else to feed on.
No, it's dangerous, but honestly, in the grand scheme of things, if we are to say what are we looking most forward to for Circuit 3 to come, it's kind of also for the best in a weird way, because if it was evened out among some of these top teams that also got to play Circuit 1, then we would already coming into Circuit 3 know maybe the top half of the teams that were playing, but because it's only a select few that are really racking up points now, it leaves that much more up for chance coming into Circuit 3.
You see smiles and concentration on the part of TSM, as they are one of that big pack of teams that are just sitting just below 20 points on the day that would love to be able to get some more here in these final 2 on Miramar. But there's been some wrenches thrown in the works by teams such as T1, such as 17. And now that we're down to 2 games left, are there going to be any more wild cards at play? We're going to find out now as we are heading over to the dusty dunes of Miramar.
Let me put it this way. I thought I was good at telling you where teams like to land. Apparently, teams don't go where they usually go anymore, even when it's available. It's just mild suggestions. Let's see if this game is going to bring us any difference in what we've seen through today's matches so far, which is pretty much all guaranteed early game fighting.
Looks like 4AM is going to avoid T1 once again, but where are they going to go? That's a lot of drop spots down there that it look like they are occupied, but maybe they can pull a Sonic's alt drop here as Monte Nuevo's free, so they have...
Chuma is free.
Yeah, Chuma's free. They've got plenty of stuff that they can play around here as long as they don't get too close to Weibo. And 17, well, they're going to get Picado for free, rather. But KDF, yeah, no, they're going long. They're going to Minas Generalis. So it looks like we may have avoided any of the early game hot drops for now, Toby.
Is T1 going Alcantara out of fear that 17 was going to hot drop them? Because I think Eternal Fire, they would usually like loot the left side of the Dorito down in and around like a pre-Picado sort of split. But you saw Code Marco come flying in going, guys, there's no parachutes over Chuma. I guess we get that as well. Honestly, this might be a safe play by T1. And, well, you better find a E-pick-up, my lads, because that's a long rotation you have in the making.
Going back to south of Los Leones.
Been there.
We did a few days ago. And I actually kind of had eyes on Thanadol and Ferris there. We're getting real close. It looks like Thanadol's going to win that drop for the vehicle, and Ferris should be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody going to be okay.
Yeah. For now.
For now.
For now. We obviously we have the availability of team broadcasts as well. If you want to hear the team comes from some of your favorite teams, hop on over, get a listen in. If you speak, I guess, Ukrainian, Korean, or Russian, Ukrainian, Korean, or Chinese, you are going to be
golden
at an advantage because then you actually understand what they're saying.
Have a great time. Well, 4AM, they are getting a master class today in how to operate with poverty loot through the rest of the thing, because this is the second time now. I feel like they've dropped in an alt drop and they've gotten dead center circle. But fortunately for them this time, no one around really to just hard push them, as it looks like VP is going to get a little bit closer, but they're going to a different compound. La Cobe, nobody really around.
But that's the thing you're saying. I mean, they're all landed in the same compound. They have no vehicles because Weibo took those early. They're playing on foot down towards Resort, and EB and Nixie are already here. Now, Beamy and Lugrux has a vehicle available, so you'd have to imagine that once footsteps are heard, they have to come. Yeah, they're already in cars now going in that same direction. I think they're realizing that 4AM is in the nearby vicinity. I would love to go down towards VP and see what's happening there.
This can't be VP running into another fight here, but we got a quick interview with the killer man, Tanvu.
Hi guys, I'm standing here with the Expendables Tanvu and our translator Jenna. And Gigi, on that Tego, I want to ask you about the car theft that you took against Cumin. What happened? Tell us about that.
Ok thì chúc mừng Tân Vũ ở các bạn đồ thi đấu Tego. Em đã có một màn cướp xe khá là ngoạn mục. Em đã kết thúc vị trí của Women và em cướp xe của anh ấy, thì làm như thế nào mà em có được một cái màn thể hiện đỉnh nóc như vậy, em có thể nói cho mọi người biết được không?
Tại hồi đấy em định nằm đấy em bay tơ thôi, nhưng mà Women nó chạy lên trước mặt em và em bị giật mình. Em tưởng phải đấy em chết rồi nên là em thấy cái xe em nhảy lên xe em chạy luôn.
Okay, I was just laying down there and wait for him, but then all of a sudden he came, and then I panicked for a moment, and I thought that I died that moment, but then I just got in the car and I ran away. So yeah.
You panicked, so you shot him and stole his car and drove off. That was so smooth. All right, best of luck to you for the remaining Miramars. Thank you, Tanvu. Bye.
Man, I wish I had the wherewithal to pull that off when I was panicking, because, man, that was about as clean as you're going to get. Well, while that was all happening, 4AM has made it into Resort. VP was on their way out, though, so doesn't look like it's going to be kind of two ships passing in the night more than anything is Petrichor Road. They're going to see Mamu drive by, take a few shots in passing.
Yeah, Petrichor able to take this position away from Weibo, as they'll just make their way further down south. The issue is they're not all safe just yet. There is still Ike's left on the hunt, 72 damage done already. He knows Mamu is down to somewhat low HP. He has a hay belt and a stable to work with and should be able to get here in time. I spoke too soon. Ike's left catches him. That's going to be him down. TSM now finding day trade players as well as Sparking is going to be the first one to get a dog. And now they fight in the resort proper. Pops off to Bobo. Catches Nixie. Nixie was creeping up those staircases as slow as he could, but fails to get the knock.
Yeah, I think Nixie was the man left behind here for VP, and they figured out what was going on, but a little bit too late, so Nixie couldn't escape, and now the VP is once again just going to have to survive going forward as 3, as they have just had the worst luck, it seems. Yeah. They have been running into, oh no, and that is not where you want to pop out your car, but it looks like they should get back on the move.
Yep, Mamo ends up getting flushed there as well, so a couple of casualties coming in, but then again, that's no different to what we've become used to seeing throughout this day so far, honestly, throughout this tournament. So far, as ED tries to get away from the suppressed M4 shots of God V.
This is, I mean, this is just that you know, we talk about it all the time, the butterfly flapping its wings. I mean, T1 just being aggressive on the 4 a.m., force 4 a.m. to pull in into an unmarked alternative drop here and get a little bit too close to VP. VP not really expecting it. And as a result, they end up losing 1 here, and they also lose Resort, control over Resort, which in this circle, given their drops, they should have had priority on. So this is just VP, unfortunately, being the one to suffer a little bit too on top of 4 a.m.
Yep, the victims of dominoes falling in all kinds of random directions today. It's
They're
not just
strays in the most literal sense.
Yep, quite literally. Quantum Freaks, in the meantime, not quite the case for them. Able to wrap around, able to roam. As we see Salute here, 14 nades used, 300 damage with it. Had around 1,200 damage in that previous game. Out here delivering to the same level that we've seen him do in the past. He's a world champion after all. The only player here able to try and defend his global championship title.
Manster. Part man, part monster.
Oh, that's the
no.
Panzerfaust.
Oh, dear.
3,
oh,
2,
dear.
1.
Do you have it? Oh, no, you didn't get it. He's waiting for the next.
At its left click.
Is there another one?
It's Mirado too fast.
Yeah.
Zenith is next on the chopping block.
Man.
Zenith is next. Oh, wait, no, it's Type. And Ian.
Oh, it's Ian. Yeah.
Can it be Type instead? Because all
he's
of you
gonna
guys have him on your fantasy team.
Stop.
Oh, let Type go past. Oh, it's going to be Zenith instead. If only he knew what he did to his teammate.
He's either, haha, I passed you.
Oh, he saw it.
Oh, yep. The Panzerfaust's not going to come out at
Way
least.
off. Oh, he gets him.
Adder, what a spray. Gets him as he's spinning around from the pop tire. And that is Barpo with another point there for Gen G.
I feel like if you're Zenith right now, you go, bruh. Was that coincidental that you stopped there for a vehicle swap, or did you see something and just not feed the comms across?
Jeez, sometimes just.
And it's Zenith again. It's always Zenith that fall first.
It's always
feels bad, man.
Well, T1 will at least keep 3 alive through this one as well. They're coming all the way from the northwest as they'll ride their way in on the there'll be riders on the storm. Cody. Yeah.
Yep. And for T1, I mean, 22 points this time around, finished out in the top of Circuit 1 as well. Not first place, but in the top 4. So not really too much to fear for them. Right now, they're looking very, very solid for that grand.
Yeah, they're stacking. They're stacking. And they'd be probably getting a little bit more if they weren't getting hoovered up by everybody in the top 4 right now. So they still got 2 games left to play, though, so they still got plenty of opportunity to add to that point total as we see Sonics just kind of escaping past Twisted Minds just from the long range here. Looking at where everybody is settling up, and it looks like we got a lot of people playing towards the middle here, just everybody south of Leonis, obviously, but not a lot of gunshots going back and forth here. Everybody kind of playing a little bit quiet.
Is this revenge? Is this Rain in trying to say what you did to me, I can do to you, but better? Little does he know that Gen G knows.
Well,
they're 900 IQ. They go, you're a Korean team too. We know what your strats are. We've played against you all year long. You always sit down behind that rock in the middle of the balloon halfway through phase 1. And well, he did.
Regional teams
now he gets a
actually taking shots at their other regional teams.
That aren't Americans.
Yeah, animosity.
Or the nade. Oh, goes for Toasty.
the Tosi.
And they're going to stop.
Oh, of course they're going to stop. Well, Rex is the last one. Everybody else breezed through, so Rex has to. He didn't get the memo that everybody was going to keep going, so he fortunately will get on out of there. But Raining will take some parting shots just to let him know.
Yep, good thing for them that it's downhill. That vehicle doesn't go that fast, but a potential Patona. That is not something I thought we were going to see at all this tournament. It ain't guaranteed yet either, but there's definitely a case to be made for an island finish now.
It's chicken wings ready, chat. We could be going, but
Wall drawings.
we'll see what happens. There's a lot of drawings going on. Yes. Well, there you go. Looking at the map, everybody in vehicles for the most part already, with the exception of Virtus Pro. They were on the coastline already, so they didn't really have anywhere to go. Already, Falcon's going to send it over to Partona, so they are they're gonna take the gamble.
You
Why
know
not? They're sitting at the top of the leaderboard, so they feeling okay for this.
Exactly, you may as well. If it doesn't go your way, there's a chance for you to try and wrap back the other way, play slow, swim, whatever. If it does, you are gonna be massively rewarded. It's definitely a risk worth taking, I feel like.
Sonics may be thinking the same thing as
Yeah.
they're going to go. Oh, but already looks like Gen G has already taken a bridge across as well. So we're going to have 3 teams on the chicken wing very shortly. Here's Petrichor Road have the 2-2 split across the wide open field. They're waiting for somebody else to come through, but there is just nobody left to come with the exception of maybe 17, but they don't look like they're too interested.
Can't help but feel bad if you're day trade right now. Belmoth is in Minas. He's so far away, and seeing this circle is like, you're kidding me. Well, we'll see now, as you mentioned before, Gen G and Sonics in a foot race trying to make their way down towards Patona proper. It seems to me like Sonics are going to be the victors of that rotation with that newer bridge in use, as Na'Vi setting up a road camp as well. Will find 2. That's been Human now down as well. Just Heaven left alive, but I take that back as Diffix finds him max distance with the red dot orc in play. That is Freaks out in 16th place.
Big points for the lad, as Na'Vi has been quietly having a pretty decent day so far here today. Still sitting out of that big chunk of teams up in the top 4, but they are right there in 5, 10 points out. As we see T1, they're also going to come in from the south side. Doesn't look like they are opting for the island, though.
They are on the island.
Oh, they are on the island. I'm my bad. I saw prison there. I'm an idiot. Never mind. Don't worry about me. But they're coming out. They're going to be coming out very injured as well, as Gen G has taken up residence in Partona itself, the city on the south side. Sonics, meanwhile, they're 4 deep in the compound. And Falcons, they're just keeping eyes on that bridge.
Yeah, Purdy trying to make sure that if push comes to shove, they have a boat and can leave the party on the north side, just sail down towards the south and try to bring a boat into the next circle in case this one shifts down towards the south. And honestly, I feel like we have never really gotten to see too much use of the new bridge that was added a couple of, I guess it's a half year out now, if not even longer, towards the center of the southern island. Maybe we'll get more use of it, as it is actually pretty close to the circle, and no one's camping it right now.
No, they are not. And yeah, you see Raining is creeping over here. TSM, they're looking off in the distance. This is off to, nice shots from Sparking as Flash will go down. This is way off to the east here.
Yep.
Day Trade just slow rolling their ways in as the circle is slowly collapsing. And what are we going to get, Toby? Are we going to get absolute madness here? Why not? We got 2 games left.
The crate is predicting the circles. Go south. Thank you! That's what we like to see. Start swimming. Bring out your swim shorts. You're going to need them. We are headed to Patona.
Hey, you haven't seen it yet, chat, but if you got the map stream up, you know that we are going to the chicken wing. Partona is in play as TSM. They're just cleaning up whatever they can find. This might be one of those salvage type games for them, where they just get as many points as they can.
Even the observers know. I'm not sure what... Oh, they want us all to leave and go to the... There is a free compound outside the circle. They're not wrong. But I definitely feel like the island is the play. At this point, I don't know what the observers are doing. What are we drawing, guys?
Hey,
where are the X's? Go. I think Steven might have gone in and just taken...
Somebody's gone rogue.
Somebody's
gone rogue on this one.
I'm not sure what's happening anymore.
Okay, well, why not? The circles are going rogue. Why not the telestrator as well?
Yeah, you might as well. You might as well just go all in on it. Twisted Minds opting to set up on the bridge itself. Whether that's intentional, if they get stopped in the tracks, I'm not quite sure. But here they are. Here's where they're going to be playing from. It's Na'Vi now on the shorelines trying to make something happen to Beamy, trying to get to safety, but he's going to get spotted by Chewy as everyone is trying to figure how in the universe are we ever going to get down to that south side island.
Oh, Diffix got to yoink that boat away as that knock on the VP actually proven to be huge. As look at this, TSM, they find a boat as well. They're coming in way on that the eastern side, so they should look at this, a sandstorm going the entirety of the island right now. And there you go, Diffix was able to snake that boat away from under the eyes of VP, but now another team is looking, and it's actually not even a team, it's just Tanvu, who's been a destructive force in this lobby all day long, and now he is putting a damper on Navi's plans.
They were all trying to make the exit happen, but it's only one that gets to make the escape, and it's Fairest sailing out towards the 3-man, make that a 4-man strong. TSM in the middle of the open. Soset now caught on the beach as well. Dunkirk on repeat, as these guys have no one coming to pick them up.
Absolute madness as Ferris, now the last player left alive for his squad, will slow down, stop down in the middle of the ocean here to try to heal up. TSM has now made landfall in Partona. And right now, Gen G, the only one in there. Tosi, I think, heard it coming, and he's going to pull away. Meanwhile, Petrichor taking care of 17 on the northern side of this circle. All these teams, you have to imagine, are just going to fully commit to these fights, trying to get every point that they could possibly get. Xiaowu is going to go down to Summer to start things off.
Salvage is all you can really do at this point, as Ike said, it's able to find Little Ghost, gets the flush on him too. Try to push further forward, but seen by Spaceman. Weibo still 0 points this game, and with 14 points total on the day so far, they really want to get some more. Couldn't get the flush in time, though. It's going to be given over to 17, who too will take casualties right thereafter.
And we have fully committed to silly season, as Partona is going to be the end of this game. I don't think I've seen it on the new map, the new city of Partona. So this is going to be a treat for a lot of people. Here's VP trying to send it to the bridge. Eternal Fire waiting and ready as we see 17 trying to finish off this fight with Petrichor. Road Ming will go down, but so will Xiaobei. He's going to go down to Spaceman as Weibo third partying at the perfect time.
Yeah, nice cleanup over the top there as we now go towards the east side once more. 4 a.m. trying to make something happen, but it ain't easy when you're surrounded by the entirety of Expendables. Flash comes through, but Cloris commits to the spray and finds God V. Will get the second as well, make that Duck Juice able to take him down. So 4 a.m. falls still sat in last place.
And the Expendables' reign of terror continues as they have 3 alive, but they've got to find a way to get across this bridge. But knowing these guys, they've got something in mind here as we check back in with the bridge camp. Eternal Fire had something going, but VP, they've managed to crack through, and they've got at least 2 knocks. Eternal Fire with 2 still alive. The smoke cloud keeping them alive.
They lost track of them, I think. Beamy was looking down below, thinking that would be the obvious place to go down and try and make a rest happen, but it's not quite going to be the case. Now, Beamy still committed to look down below, not going to find him either, because it's going to be Perfectix from the other side. Takes out Marco, that's Eternal Fire out, and again, Virtus Pro can't really commit to try and cross the bridge before they know they're the last team on the northern side.
Man, some days it just doesn't seem like anything's working, even when you have the perfect setup like Eternal Fire did there. They still end up losing that battle, and they find themselves in 15th place. Meanwhile, the Expendables trying to get in there. ZYY will find Tanvu, but won't be able to get the flush, so the Expendables should be able to get that man back on his feet. We still got so many people out in the blue on this north side. You got Summer, Spaceman, Thanadol, Duck Juice is coming in as well. Weibo is going to send it for that same shack as Shen is going to be the one that leads the way. He's only got 36 HP left to go. He's going to try to get it in there, but it doesn't matter. Cloris, the survivor, will come in and get the kill.
The follow-up pull-up comes through as the heal-off starts in phase 4. Summer, Spaceman with the Rich in between, and we'll see who's going to fall in 12th, because you'd have to imagine that it's going to be one of the two here. Spaceman doesn't make a sound, but Summer over the top, and that's Petrichor out in that 12th place.
Duck Juice is trying to swim across right now, but he has been spotted by Snakers, and he's going to go down to drowning. Unfortunate there, as the Expendables are on their last legs. Spaceman going to be the last one alive for Weibo as well. Thanadol somehow, some way, has been able to live through all of this for day trade, is eating a bunch of blue damage, but now Virtus Pro, they have made their way into the zone at least. but where do you go from here, man? It's going to be tough.
Okay, so with the circle going to the island proper, let's break down how the teams got here. VP ain't there yet. Twisted left late, got over. Sonics were there early in a foot race against T1.
Falcons first
Gen G
across.
was there. Falcons had the easy approach. Navi's Ferris has swum off halfway there. And TSM opted in a circle earlier to say, if it happens, we have a boat. I'm going to go miles into blue to get a boat for us. You better credit me once the circle shifts there and we have a boat for free. They did, and here they are in the middle of Batona.
The best payoff of all time is Twisted Minds and Virtus Pro trying to square up, but they can't do it properly because once again, third and fourth parties coming through from Falcons, from Gen G, even a fifth party from Sonics as they have angles on this as well.
Imagine if there was destruction on Miramar as well and they could have blown up the bridges.
Oh boy. That would have been
We'll save that for PGC next year. As example.
Fingers crossed.
As example is able to find Snakers. And I feel like that nade has EB's name written on it.
It does
Nope.
not. Never mind. It gets him
far.
low though, but not going to be enough to get the knock as Twisted Mind's still playing around on this low side. And gotta remind you, Ferris has still made his way.
Yeah, he swam.
Remember, he was the last one alive for Navi. Has managed to make his way to landfall, and nobody knows that he is there, with the exception of maybe Snakers, who was taking shots out at people in the water. But that was actually duck juice, so I don't know if he knows that Navi's man is there. But Twisted Minds just playing around these smoke walls, playing around whatever angles they can find.
Oh, you did.
But this has to come to a head very shortly. There you go. Example, we'll get the knock onto Ibby, and right now the rest of the Virtus Pro boys kind of eating a little bit of blue damage.
There's something beautiful about seeing EB and Lucarux inside the circle and me using first aids in the blue.
Yep. Yep. They're like, you know what? We
Why
know what
is
you're.
it always the same?
Look, Beamy is really good at shooting people too, guys. He's not just good at out-healing the blue zone. You can actually get him involved in the fight as well.
Why has that become his thing? I don't know. I don't know. That's just like, boys, don't worry. I'm going to give us at least like 2 placement points off of this.
Okay, to be fair, he was completely pinned down. He had to stay where he was. But now he's just left to heal out through the blue, and Twisted Minds knows it, so they're going to go ahead and try to find their way in as well. But fortunately, they got this coastline to play around, but they do not know about our boy Ferris.
Well, they don't know, but with the way that they're playing it right now, they're assuming that a lot of solos make their way across. I love the fact that they're playing it so gorgeous. It's going to spot Ferris on the other side too now. Great awareness from Twisted Minds. Again, they were sat on the north side forever without a chance to really see what was happening towards the waters in the east. They are not taking any chances here, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you expect from the Batolins-led team.
Oh, yeah.
Just be very five-head. Make sure they keep, there you go. Beamy will go down to the blue, but we have another snaky boy here on the beach side, and that's Type. Now the rest of his team is still in the city of Patrona, but Type just kind of being that solo man running point here.
That's the issue, right? Because once you've cleared out a solo, you go, there could be a second.
Yeah.
But then when you clear out the second, you go, now we must be done, right? Little do they know. There's one more in the waiting. Let's see if he's aware of it. He is, but the damage is going to come through nonetheless. Type finds the knock. No flush guaranteed just yet, as that nade is going to be close, but not quite there. Will get the flush in the end. Tulin falls down.
Oh, that feels so bad to not only give up the knock, but also the flush. As this is, you can see how difficult it is to play, but it doesn't matter to Example. That man hits headshots like that on the daily. We'll finish off Type. And the rest of T1, where are they actually sending it over here? They sure are.
A little late to the party. But hey.
Well, Perfectix has gone down as well.
Yeah. Knocked from behind, tried to make the run forward, and now Falcons realize the fight is happening.
Oh no!
Might as well send it full speed forward. Ian able to find the first one, but the trades come through. Rainin gets him down, and somehow T1 off of a mad dash vehicle stays alive.
Raining the Frogman, raining Team 6 out of the water. Will finish off Twisted Minds. And now T1, they've got 2 alive. They've got a lot of loot crates to collect a little bit more utility off of to make their way in here. But once again, Falcons 4 strong on the north side of this zone. Sonics have a nice place to play as well. Gen G, they have taken over the compound closest towards the center of the circle. TSM, they've still got 4 left up as well. So it is a very American final circle here, final 5 teams.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of ironic that Falcons and Sonics, the 2 teams that got here first, have 1 kill between them.
Yeah.
Sonics were set up on the
Nobody's been
western
here.
side without vision on anyone, really. Falcons were saying, we can take fights close, but, well, no one really came to them.
Oh my.
Snakers able to find the first knee, and now somehow, not dead. Roth, please just keep shooting. You have 98 more bullets, my friend. you would have found him if had you just kept shooting.
Well, Raining will get across, and now Ian will spot out that man off in the distance. And there you go, Roth will finish him off, or at least get the knock. Start things off here. Raining now on the clock as the rest of Falcons are going to finish off that flush. But they know there's another one here. You want to be careful though. You don't want to take a knocker and a flush here.
Oh no.
Not when you're 4 up on this circle.
Definitely not raining.
Oh, this sneaky
Slow
guy.
walking around the side, has an angle. Oh, I thought he would have gone for the shot there. He had eyes on at least 2.
Got
Now
one
he's going to
grenade.
spot them both again. Spots the third as well. Goes for the shot rather than going for the nade. A little late on the util uses here, as he's going to prone down, wait things out. But Rello has seen him. At least feels like he has. And yep, indeed now he has. Finds him, takes him out, and a little. I feel like, again, 1v3 is hard to ask to really go out and do anything.
Sure.
But with the util available, there was a chance.
I mean, how many did we see the other day with where you had a 1v3 and they led with the grenade and followed up with the spray, and it worked out a charm. Unfortunately, this time Raining will go down with that grenade. He'll save that grenade for next game.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Oh, that's right.
That's what it is. We see the replay of that beautiful drive-by that finishes off Twisted Bots. Look at Batsu, he knows.
It's like,
Oh
you're
my
kidding
God,
me.
you gotta be kidding me with this.
Into the water, out of the water, up on the shoreline, get the second kill to win
So
it.
what is this game?
Yeah,
And I gotta agree with him. This is absolute bananas. As Sonic will wrap into TSM, they're gonna find Alo, but they have not been able to get the revive onto Kickstart. Looks like they're gonna try to stick that right now. Sparking looking for any angle, but he's not gonna find it.
So narrow, just needs a little bit of an inch long. As he does spot one at the end of it there.
Oh.
The fadeaway headshot out to take. Will go for the first one, can't really get the second again. The corner of defense there,
my God.
difficult to deal with, but nice splash out the side. Luke spins around, sawn off in hand, able to take down Kickstart as well.
TSM. Sparking just toying with him there at the end, but they're going to go down as TSM will get eliminated. And I think Sonics as well, as Falcons has just taken over the entire circle. They know that Gen G is in the compound, so they're just wrapping around, making sure they clear out everything else. And now it's a 4v3 for the victory on Partona.
We said it early, if it swings back north, there's a chance they get back. If it comes south, you get to reap the rewards. And here they are, Falcons, 4 kills already. Currently sat in second place with a chance to make a push towards first. It won't be quite enough with this game alone, but they're going to be up in the 50s if they can come up victorious here.
All right, well, they definitely want to play this carefully as they can. We are only in phase 7.
Only.
But, you know, you don't want to... This is a free win, right? And okay, Tosi, the knock on a Tosi might open up a little bit of a door here to try to start making their way closer to get the utility in there. But I mean, it's obviously not a free win, but you want to try to get this victory. But nice spray by Rex. Rex with the 2-piece will find Snakers, find Roth, and Gen G is breathing again.
What a phenomenal read by Rex. Knew where he had Roth, but still went for the other guy first so he can come back to him after. What a phenomenal play by Rex.
And Rello and Flood, they're not going for the reses just yet. They're keeping eyes on Gen G, but Gen G has gotten their man up, and they are on the move. They've come from the south side. Adder and Tosi rapping while Rex tries to keep everybody's attention. He's feeding the information over. The flushes will come through, and now Rello and Flood will have to regroup on the north side.
Exactly, they have to fall back here. I was going to say, how can Flood become relevant in this fight when all of it is taking place on the southeast side? He couldn't. Had to default in the car, had to say, Rello, we got to counter a counter our losses, fall back towards the northeast, and take this fight now at a disadvantage.
We've seen Rex do this already once this tournament, where he just completely flipped a fight on its head, turned something that felt unwinnable into a winnable situation, and he may have pulled it off once again here, as Adder and Tosi are still wrapping around on that side. But now they're in the same position that Falcons was just in. You don't want to give up that knock. You don't want to give up the knock of the flush, and especially when you have the advantage in this situation.
And again, Gen G, I mean, points-wise, kind of struggle bus for them. for the majority of the day here today. They didn't have anything off of Circuit 1 as they didn't make it through to it. So with just 2 games left on the day, if they could come out with a win here, that would be massive in terms of their chances of making it to the grand finals.
Everybody just kind of holding lines right now. Rex has been left behind in the compound to make sure that they don't get backfilled.
Exactly.
And Tosi and Adder doing the same thing on that southwestern side, making sure that they don't come around the other way. Meanwhile, Flood and Rello just playing as solos, just keeping eyes to see if they can spot out where the push is going to come from.
I love the idea that Rex is committing to this play too, because Flood, while he had to leave with the vehicle before, technically didn't get seen up there. So maybe they're thinking, well, he feel like he didn't get spotted. Maybe he's going to try and go back to do that exact same play again. And then if he does, we catch him off guard. So smart read, smart anticipation on the side of Gen G, even if it's not going to come to fruition.
All right, final circle here. All utility getting sent out. Nobody really has prio on the center dot. And it's outside of that compound as well. So it is going to come down to who spots out who first.
Yep.
And who can land the shots. You see Rello with the AUG in hand. Flood with the M4. And start laying down the smoke wall towards the center of the zone. Start slowing things down here.
I love this type of terrain to have these fights into. The kind of curvy hills where there's no steep hills you fall off, you roll over. It's just, it's nice rolls, effectively. A couple of trees scattered in there makes for a great endgame location.
Double AUGs from Tosi and Adder. Rex still holding on to that mini, still holding on to that high ground position, that second floor spot. Take a few shots over at Flood, but nothing's going to land. But those smokes are starting to fade.
This is the thing, they want to get Rex back now, especially now that he's been found. They want to get him back towards his teammates. They're being suppressed right now with you until Flood to down under half HP will get the first aid off. But they want, I mean, for Falcons, they want to keep Rex isolated. They want to be able to take this fight against him in a 2v1. So smoke off Adder and Tosi, take the fight to Rex in a 2v1, then a follow-up 2v2 against the others. But Gen G, in the meantime, they cannot lose Rex right now.
Seems like most of these guys still have some offensive utility left. You see Flood still has that grenade, but he's going to hold on to it, wait until the last possible second as they keep recycling the smokes in the center. He will pull the pin. He's going to send it over. It's going to go a little far, though, it looks like. So no damage done to Gen G as these guys are just waiting for these smokes to bloom and fade away. So hopefully they can see somebody playing around the edge.
Loose own nades are huge in this time of the game now. Molly's been lopped on over as well. Both the Falcons plays down to low HP. Rello falls, but so does Adder. It's a 1v2 Flood on the edge of the smoke. Finds Tosi on the side, but he's going to fall, and Gen G comes out victorious in match number 5.
What a victory for Gen G, and what a play once again from Rex to put them in a position that they can win that game. That double kill onto Falcons was the absolute game-winning play, and he did it admirably.
From non-stop shoulder-to-shoulder driving south with T1, losing players on the northern side to then have the brawl on the way through there in the end. Phenomenal finish to yet another absolutely chaotic game here in the Circuit 2 finals.
It has been bonkers all day long. We had game 2. I was like, that is the most plain, boring, vanilla bagel, the plain bagel type game that we've ever seen. And then every other game since has just been absolute madness as we've got one left to play and so much on the line. Every single one of these teams looking to collect as many points as they can as they get ready for the end of the Circuit 2 Grand Final.
An extremely important win for a team that did not qualify for that Circuit 1 final here. And they came into this game having only 13 points from this so far. So this will be huge for the Korean powerhouse that is Gen G.
What a crazy game from them. From the first kill of the game where they set a trap and gave Zenith a little bit of a birthday present right out of the gate, to this where they walk away with a big chicken dinner on the back of Rex with what an amazing two-piece. I thought the Falcons had that with that man out, man.
Rex opened that up completely, right? Like, obviously, Falcons having spread around all the way. I loved, actually, what they were doing. As long as you're kind of just holding, but not really kind of... As soon as they got that knock, it felt like they probably assumed at that point, okay, we could push this. We were expecting them to not have the cheekiest of angles, but Rex, man. Rex made everything happen there for Gen G.
It felt like that knock, you know, I think maybe if one of them had pushed forward, it would, you know, and not gotten knocked at the same time, but Roth and Sniggers both started to push forward and just got caught. But I think Poro said it best, you know, this was another crazy circle. Game 2, as he described it, was a plain vanilla bagel, which sounds disgusting, but everything else, every other circle, every other map we've had has been absolutely wild. This one is beyond compare. I mean, what we saw at the bridge, the fight to get here, the fact that we're just jumping in the water saying, I guess that's the end for us. I haven't seen this. I don't know if I've seen it like at this level of comp play in a very long time.
In quite a while, right? Like, obviously, it's not quite an Eastern Island circle because at least you have a bit more access to this kind of scenario. But with Falcons going here as early as they did, they realized, okay, well, if we gamble on the island and it does come this way, we're guaranteed at least top 3 or something like that, and it did materialize for them. Likewise, though, Gen G was here early in this compound, kind of just chilling for the most part in this game.
Yeah, they had set up that camp. Well, I don't think it was a setup camp necessarily, but they had the spot where they, you know, got that pick off on T1 early on, and then there, when that shift happens, they were just able to blow straight down and get across that bridge before anybody else was able to respond. We saw a few other teams like TSM who were lucky enough to find boats very quickly, be able to come in on the south side of Partona, and everyone else was just either caught in the old VP beamy system, which is like try to survive a little bit more, or fight for some points like we saw Expendables do, and then just sacrifice yourself to the blue gods.
I'm going to be real, I did hope there was a moment where Beamy on the bridge, I was hoping, maybe he's got some meds. Maybe we can like zoom in on him and see how many he's got.
Real talk. The highlight replay in the first game of the day.
It's just healing.
I think you said, I wish there was the Benny Hill music playing over the top of it, but like that was one of the best highlights I've ever seen. If you guys missed the first game, go back and watch replay 1 because Beanie going through 29 plus, I think it was, meds as he works his way in was hilarious.
I think it was more than, it was crazy. Actually, yes, if anybody can edit the Benny Hill music to that video and send us it on socials, that'd be great.
I would love that. That would go in the archive for pulling out in future events.
Let's take a look at the points coming in for this game then, as Gen G will get themselves 8 kills. For Falcons, they got over towards the island quite quickly, but it's only just 4 points in terms of the kills at least, and then obviously getting themselves some placements, but they're already solid. Like, considering how many points they've been able to gain here throughout the day, it's fantastic for them. And it's interesting to watch a net finish like this, because again, as you say, we don't really get it too often at all, especially at this level of play. And there's so many cool little areas to talk about. Even just something as simple as a Twisted Minds who wants to hold the bridge and try and farm kills from that point on, but then taking the underneath the bridge position, saying, okay, well, we can't really transition to those compounds south of us, so let's transition along the beach, which also provides a decent amount of cover as long as there's no one ahead of you on the beach, which there was a few members.
Or someone letting their car on fire in an effort to destroy yours.
That doesn't help either.
It's like he threw a grenade and drove over it to make the car even more lethal. T1 is wild, man. Because that was a great push. You could see Twisted Minds frustrated because, they did. They adapted and they responded, and then they adapted again and they responded, and then chaos took them. And I think that's kind of what's happening to Twisted Minds in these lobbies, is I think that they are underprepared for how much chaos they're seeing.
I really enjoyed Twisted Minds meets Twisted Metal. That was one of my favorite. That was good stuff. Got points and damage coming in here from Gen G as well. Looks like Ada will be able to take that man of the match spot for all of this. And again, it's good to see Ada, of all players, taking it, all things considered, right? He has been with us since the dawn of time.
Absolutely. Since the very beginning, there was Ada. But Ada will get man of the match, and he gets those kills, he gets that damage. A lot of that came off that early fight that they got involved in. That said, if I had to pick a man of the match based on just play, you got to give that nod to Rex, because that is what opened up for a team that needs the chicken dinner, right? They don't need to just accrue a couple of points. They need to put themselves in a position where they don't have to stress too much about Circuit 3's final. And Rex opened that door to get those 10 placement points to lock out Falcons, who are in such a good spot. And we have to make sure that he gets the nod. You got to give him that nod.
I totally agree. Without that, they don't win that game.
No, absolutely not.
Because Falcons is closing in. They are constricting them like a boa at that moment. But it will be 18 points for them, 10 points for the Falcons. TSM with another. I mean, this game in general has been a big win for North America, actually, because 3 of your teams are over there. You're getting some kills here and there, a lot of placement points being in the top 4.
Americans needed a win.
Did they?
In a lot of ways. Yeah, I mean, Circuit 1 final was devastating. Absolutely devastating. To see some guys get a couple of points up here on the board. Sonic's able to get up to 24. They salvaged some. I think they were pretty frustrated with the fact that they had to go up against the rest of the Americas teams there in Partona. Would have liked to walk away from a little bit more, but they did walk away there. TSM at 28 is going to be very, very happy with that. And the Falcons, man, they turned something. Something clicked in after that first day. It just seems to really be working.
Taking a look at the overall leaderboard from this circuit as well, I think obviously we focused a lot on who's winning. Let's focus on a moment here on who's not winning. One of the teams that I want to bring up, it really is 17 Gaming, right? Like, this is a team that second place, all these big tournaments. And in our 2 circuit finals so far, it's really not gone their way. In the first one, they had 23 points, so they were 3rd last in the circuit finals. Now we're 3rd last again here for 17 Gaming. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they turn the taps on in the final and they kind of just circumnavigate all of this annoyance that's going on for them in the circuit finals, but stuff's not materializing.
It's not materializing. I don't know. Whatever it is, the energy just is not right going towards that team, and they're not catching those moments that they need to. Luck seems to be turning against them. We've also seen some vindictive moments. We saw a crash by TSM in that Erangel game that was nothing short of just I see 17, I kill 17. So I do think they are suffering a little bit of teams saying, hey, you are a good team. You are the most consistent second place team in the world.
Yes, true.
I would love to not have to worry about you getting a lion's share of that $1.5 million prize pool. I'd love for you to not be in the final.
Well, I'd say it's not only the fact that they're a potentially dangerous force. At present, they're slightly unpredictable as well.
They are unpredictable.
So they could be doing, we just saw on Rondo, them dropping on the T1 position. Again, maybe they were envisaging T1 going towards the 4 AM location and trying to, maybe then from that point on, their location would be free, but that wasn't the case. So that then sows even more chaos into the lobby.
It implies that if they are worried about teams looking for them and they're maybe pivoting some drops, that things really are bad. Because one of the staples for me of 17 Gaming is they have never backed off of a challenge. They have never worried about somebody else trying to push them out of their position. They'll dedicate whole tournaments to fighting for what they want. And the fact that they're considering changing is actually very, very shocking to me and telling for the rest of their tournament.
Well, they've got Picardo on Miramar. Let's see if they can make something happen here in the final one of the day. This is the final opportunity for Circuit 2 to get some points on the board towards the PGC Grand Final. Let's head over to the commentators, Poro and Toby.
Thank you very much, lads. And yes, we are getting ready to go into our final game of the day. If you're going to get points to secure your spot in our grand final, now is the time to do it, as we have one more left to go, and it has been, well, it's been spicy to say the least, Toby.
I was going to use the word interesting.
Interesting, that's, yeah.
It has been an interesting day of competitive
Interesting
PUBG.
is what people say when they want to say something else, but they don't want to be rude.
And you know what? I can't really fault the players for the majority of the chaos we've seen today, because it's been very circle dependent too. Of course, that last game, a crazy one at that Partona finish. It's been a while since we've been there. And you know what? Coming into this final game now, Poro, this lane path really ain't all too kind. I know it spreads all the way down to the south, but when you can't reach Los Leones, when Minas is out of reach, I mean, you can reach it, but like when it's a stretch, that's it's gonna leave things pretty difficult. And now 4 AM goes.
T1 definitely hot dropped 4 AM, and 4 AM just yoinked away T1's normal drop spot.
I mean, you know, that's a smart.
Read them like a book.
It's. I was gonna say kudos to 4 AM for reading that one, because that's a smart play. Smart play on their mind.
Sure is. Well, it's unfortunate for Eternal Fire. Looks like they are getting a little bit close to each other, as we got another hot drop here. Petrichor Road going to get close to the Expendables up here in La Cobe. And they have... Oh, no. Of course he walks in and picks up a Panzer.
We see what they can do up close. Well, I mean, for the most part, to the people that shoot with them. But...
Dutchies has that M249. He's feeling good about himself. He doesn't know what's coming.
Let's see. Chewy, Ming, do you get one? Do you go down yourself? Do you take down your teammate with you? It's about to find out. Oh, survives with 1 HP. Make that 7.2 health, I suppose. As a nade comes up and over. Ixlip finds one. Chewy meets Stelwyn with the Panzer to the dome. And that is 2 points early on for Petrichor.
There you go. Clean, clean.
Mm-hmm.
That was, it looked like it was close there for a second, but here the rest of the Expendables, what do they got to lose? They've got 55 points on the day, so why not come over here and take the fight against Petrichor Road as they catch Ming out in the open. Clories, as that iron sight spray gets him low but doesn't get the knock.
Nope, Tanvu able to pick up a sawn off here as well, but don't think he had an AR or GMR to work with, so not optimal unless if you are lucky that your opponent's opt to come and engage you. It's Clories. Once again, I feel like he was in the middle of a good spray. Last time around he stopped with 7 bullets left. This time around ending it a bit early as well as Ike's left now. Ooh, a little tag coming at a distance. That could potentially be enough for the sawn off to work. Oh, the nade.
Jeez, yeah, Ike's definitely did not want to push that with the